Hello, welcome back, people of the interwebs. This is the microphone my dad was letting me use, so I'm trying it again. It does come with a stand, but I can't even speak. A microphone doesn't help if I can't speak. For convenience, I'm just going to hold it and hope that this makes me louder than my bird, who incessantly screams in the background. Anyway, this video is going to be, as per mentioned in the last one, making a scuba diver. Of course, all patterns are listed in the description. I almost said bio. We're not on Instagram. This is every time I buy a new pattern and I make the item therein, I go follow the creator on Instagram. And I have not yet for this one, but I'm going to. I think this came out very, very cute. It's maybe a foot tall, and the legs are kind of floppy, I guess, to give the simulation of swimming. I have not taken pictures of this yet. I plan to do it tomorrow. I think for me the ideal time to take pictures is around like noon-ish, just because of where the sun is and the way our house faces. I usually take pictures in the front yard. So my other bird just came out. They're both very noisy. Doesn't matter which one it is. They're both very noisy. Hold on. I am going to try to take pictures of this by the pool, though, but just because it's water-themed. The mask does come off. The air tube is detachable. The oxygen tanks come out, but I don't want to take it all apart right now, just because then I would have to put it back together. Why would I do twice the work? So, except for this is not supposed to be way up here. Just for the way that I'm holding it is not ideal. I do think, depending on where my mom's friend decides to put it, she might have to take the backpack off just because of the way the legs are positioned. I don't think he'll sit right. If she tries to, you know how like some things you can buy are made to sit on the edge of a shelf, and so the legs are kind of positioned near the front. He is not that. So I think she's gonna love it though. So let's get into the process of making it, and then I will see you guys for the outro. I did this video a different way, kind of, just in hopes that it wouldn't be so long. I made the body first, and then this video is mostly just making the accessories. So watch this video still be like at least 45 minutes long. I don't know. We'll find out. Let's get started. I guess if I want this video to be about making the scuba diver, I should probably record some of the footage of making it, huh? Although I did kind of plan it this way because I wanted to have the body done, so this video could just be making the accessories. And this is, obviously it's for a woman, so I did pink for the details. The original pattern has it with lime green, but you could substitute any color you wanted to. And so now I'm going to be making, this is going to be a scuba diver, which I'm sure is in the title, or I've already said that at some point. So now I'm going to make the mask, which requires a light blue to look like glass. I don't have a light blue by itself, so I'm going to use, this is like a ombre skein. Well, this is a cake, but it was a skein before I rolled it up. I'm going to use this outer color, and there's plenty that I'll have enough to make the glass of the scuba diving mask. So that's what we're going to be making now. So this pattern comes with the option for one big air tank or two small ones. I think I'm going to do the two small air tank just because that's what's in the picture and I want it to look like the picture. So I'm going to do pink, of course, because that's the color that I have chosen, the accent color. So it's going to look very cute, I think, in the end, and I think my mom's friend will like it. This is for the same friend that bought the Mario Brothers set I mentioned in the last video. So I'm gonna make the tanks now. Well, let this serve as the reason why you read all the crochet instructions before you start crocheting, because this is not supposed to be on this side of the tank. It's supposed to be on this side because you are supposed to work 6 single crochet into your magic ring, and then this second row around here is supposed to be worked into the back loops of this round, which would have then left the front loops available to work in for you to put the neck of the gas tank on this side so that the decreases would have been at the bottom. But I don't think it particularly matters because there's 8 decreases, and so it looks pretty symmetrical, you know. Anyway, so to make them look the same, I'm going to have to do the same on this one. But first I have to put a bunch of polyfill in it. And you know what? I like the idea of working with scrap yarn because I have a plastic bag, like a grocery bag, that hangs off of my desk chair armrest that I put yarn scraps in when I'm cutting them off. It's pretty full, and I wish I had, I don't even know what they're called, like a it's a specific type of board that has the bristles on it like a slicker brush has. Let me show you. So Hobby Lobby used to sell, this is relevant, I promise I'm not switching from one topic to the next, okay? Hobby Lobby used to sell something called roving, R-O-V-I-N-G, and it's basically unspun yarn fiber. And so for Christmas last year, I asked my parents for what is called a drop spindle. These have a different name for when you're using them for craft supplies. I don't remember what they're called, and I am too lazy to look it up. But this is basically the same brush that you would use to brush a dog, and those are called slicker brushes. So for now, we're gonna call these that, okay? and it has, you know, the metal bristles. They sell a board, like a long piece of wood that also has this kind of teeth on it on Amazon. I really, really want one so I can make my own yarn, but I am poor, okay, and they are expensive. And that's basically what these are for. You would just put, like, so you would get whatever, you know, you do more than one piece at a time, and just brush it until it's fiber, unspun. Basically what it's doing is ripping the fibers, and it's, you know, it's making them not pre-spun yarn, and turns it into, well, the equivalent of what polyfill feels like after you're done. This is just painfully time consuming. And so if you had the board that it goes on, it's basically this, elongated. You could put the yarn on the board and then just brush the board, and it would be the same effect as doing this for hours at a time if you had a lot of scrap yarn, like I do. And now that piece is gonna go in the trash because I said so. And then this is the drop spindle itself, which you would use to wind your own yarn. But that I don't get to use because I don't have any unspun fiber. I'm sure if I brushed it out a little at a time, I could make it happen. And I could. I have a lot of free time, but I don't want to. I had forgotten why I said any of that and even got these out. I had to go back and watch what I had recorded so I could remember why I even got these out in the first place. And it was because I was saying that if I had the means, more means than this, because this would take me literally hours at a time and I'm just not that invested in it, to brush out all of my yarn scraps back into fiber, almost like this, but this is not, you know, this is like, it's different, but this texture where it's not spun or wound or anything, then I could just use my yarn scraps, brushed out yarn scraps, as filling, because I don't like the way, I like the idea of stuffing with scrap yarn because it's resourceful and it limits waste, right? Because acrylic yarn is plastic, basically. But I don't like the way acrylic yarn, or this yarn scraps in general, feel after you put it in something. It doesn't have a solid shape to it, and it's really firm because you have to pack a lot in there of yarn scraps to get a solid object. And that's why I primarily use polyfill. If it's something I'm making that's really big, has a really big cavity in it, and I don't want to use all of my polyfill or a lot of it, then I will use yarn scraps because they're really good for taking up extra space. I'm only packing a lot in here right now because after I decrease and make the opening really small, I'm not going to be able to get much more in there, so I'm overstuffing, so when it's closed I can just kind of spread it out with my crochet hook. I will show you. I'll show you what I mean so I don't sound crazy, okay? So now that I have it so closed off, I can just reach in here and pull the polyfill back up into where it should be, and now it's at the top. And it's not overstuffed because it had somewhere to go. I do prefer to stuff mine quite firm, so that might be overstuffed to some people, but to me, I like what I'm making to retain its shape. So I have to make now the second silver part on this one, and then these will be done, and then I have to sew them together and then make like the backpack thing for them that the scuba diver is supposed to wear. So that is what I will be doing next. After that, he's pretty much done. I have to make the tube that connects from here and make the mouthpiece, and I have to put a button on the mask so it can hold the mouthpiece to the tank, to the backpack. So we're actually almost done. I think I've been working on this for 3 or 4 days now, so I am ready to be done with this because I have a different craft idea in mind that I am excited to get started on. I actually just remembered that I have an I-cord, a manual I-cord maker. I'm actually going to use this just because I never use it for anything else. I'm going to use it for this. I don't think this is the right hook thing, but I'm going to make it work. This takes forever, so I probably won't record much of this. I do want to go back to Hobby Lobby at some point and get the automatic one where you just turn the crank. I did have one before, but I don't have a lot of the right kind of yarn for it, or at least I didn't at that time. And so I took it back and returned it. And I bought this one. I had bought this one from Michael's. So, I mean, it does the same thing. This one just takes 17,000 times longer. It's by Loops and Threads, which I'm pretty sure is Michael's brand. So, I will show you this when I'm done with it. Okay, I will be quite honest with you. I don't really remember how to take this off. I think you just cut a length and then, like, with a darning needle, just go around each one and pull it off. I also have to fix this somehow because it's kind of... Obviously, that's where I started, so it's not going to be the neatest, but this is what it looks like once you get it done. It's just a tube. A lot of people get the hand crank one of these, which I can absolutely understand why somebody made an easier way to do this, because if you tried to do it for a full-size project, it would take you forever. People usually put this, like, they will shape the wire to spell out a name or something, and then make a bunch of these and put it over the wire, and then sell them. But I'm using it today for my oxygen tank air tube. So, I'm going to get this off. I still have to attach these. I haven't done it yet. And after this, I'll just need to make the backpack that holds the tanks and attach still the button to the mouthpiece. And then he will be done. So I'm kind of excited now to put everything together. Now comes my favorite part, the picking of the buttons. I love buttons. Lucky to my wallet that I don't have a lot of money, because they sell bags of assorted buttons at Walmart for 10 bucks. And I haven't bought a single one. Please be so proud. Also, my noisy bird has come out, so if he starts screaming, I'm sorry, okay? I also probably will have to get some of this blue color out again to use to tie the button, just in case if it shows through in the front. It won't be that obvious, but it doesn't really matter what color button we put in here, because it's not going to be seen, right, except by the person that takes apart the... Oh, also, you don't have to make this fully removable like I am. I don't know, I thought it would be fun if it came apart. Obviously, you could also sew everything together and have it one solid piece. Like you could sew this to the face. You could sew this to here and bond it permanently. I am just gonna put this on. Hopefully, I made this long enough. I might have to put the button down really low because it has to be long enough that it. Oh, first of all, that's backwards. It has to go this way. Oh, I think it'll be alright then. Maybe if I put the button on this part even, because I didn't make this chain very long. thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I haven't edited it yet, so I'm hoping to God Almighty that it is shorter. Just because I know, like, I like long form content. That's why I watch a lot of Let's Plays or, like, video game playthroughs. Because it's long form and I can just sit. Usually when I watch YouTube is when I'm crocheting, and I don't like having to stop crocheting every, like, 20 minutes to change a new video or to pick a new video. So I prefer long form content, but I know that not everybody is like that. So I'm trying to shorten my videos between, like, an hour at most, because I know that is a long time to sit through one video. I know social media is ruining this generation's attention span, because same. I have the retention and the attention span of a peanut, so I don't blame anybody, but I know not everybody likes long form content like that. Like, I personally, I don't have the attention span to sit through movies anymore. That's embarrassing. Right? Anyway, thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Of course, once again, everything necessary for this video is in the description. And I will see you guys next time. The next video is going to involve this. Yes, it is broken, but that works in my favor. And I will see you at some point. This is going to be Christmas themed, and we're in October. Today's October 9th. So I don't think it's going to take me 3 months to finish, because I typically work on one project at a time. So this is going to have, if we count this as one piece, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces that goes to this. And since it's a circle, you can pretty much guess that it's going to be a wreath of sorts. I don't know if this floral foam will be too heavy for, I doubt it. It's foam. And yarn is not that heavy. Like, this is probably going to be the heaviest thing in the project, and still it weighs almost nothing. So, I will see you at the appointed time. Thank you for watching.